Hello. Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3842. Today's date is 26th of January 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:14 a.m. By the way, today is like a Republic Day. Okay, yeah. Wishing you very happy Republic Day. Specifically from Indian context. Okay, I'm belong to the India, and basically this Republican Day is actually belong to the India. So yeah, whatever. Do I proud my country? Yes, I do proud of my country, but there are so many things that need to be fixed and stuff like that. But still, this is my country, and this is what is it. All right, yeah. So should we ask a question? All right, let's go. Let's jump right into the question. The question is, do I enjoy working alone, collaborating, or switching between both? Oh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. All right, yeah. First of all, what exactly is this question, and why am I asking this question to myself? This is kind of like a something like a YouTube related question. Okay, yeah. YouTube related question means what? Na, it's a kind of like a something that key question is actually about that key, like, am I worthy enough to call myself as a YouTuber or not? Because I'm actually doing this YouTube for last 5 years. Okay, yeah, and I didn't really achieve anything at all. Also, another thing is that now I make a lot of mistake during this YouTube journey. I switch multiple genres and things and that, and I realized that I'm like a really fuck. Okay, I really fuck. I'm 32. I am living with my parents. I am not earning any money. Feels like pathetic. Yes, you could say that thing. I'm pathetic. So I wanted to change. I want to understand that what's wrong with me. What exactly am I worthy enough to call myself as a YouTuber or not? So that's why I'm actually asking this kind of like a question, so that I would understand myself, that am I worthy enough to call myself as a YouTuber or not. While asking this question, I get realization a lot regarding about not only about myself, but as well as I get realization regarding about my content, my YouTube journey, what exactly is this thing and that. So because of this question, I kind of like simply know more about myself and things and that. All right. So that's why I'm actually asking this kind of like a question. Now the question is that, ki, do I work alone? Do I like to work alone? Do I enjoy working alone, or collaborating, or switching between both? Okay. So first of all is that I am actually kind of like doing this YouTube, and I haven't really done any kind of like a collaboration with nothing really at all. I heard the collaboration. I seen little bit of people do collaborating, but I never really kind of like understand the concept about the collaboration and how things actually happen. And I don't really have any kind of like a somebody understanding or gravity regarding about this thing. Because okay, let me tell you one thing. Collaboration is a kind of like a very different thing. The word that you are kind of like a thing, collaboration, is a kind of like a very much like a like a common, like most of people say this thing, but it's very hard to understand what exactly is this thing. Okay, yeah. Example is this thing. You are kind of like a doing a science project in your class, and you have a group. Let's just say 4 people are actually working on this group to kind of like a make the project. So what exactly that you are doing? Is it collaboration task? Yes, it's a collaboration task. You and other people are kind of like a somebody working for the project. Okay, yeah. Now if you are kind of like a somebody work in particular company, okay, yeah, then is it kind of like a collaborating? No, it's not collaborating. It's a kind of like a somebody working for somebody. When you are working for somebody, that is not, does not call as a collaboration. Okay, yeah. Collaboration actually happen when the two or more people are actually kind of like a work together for same the result. Okay, for the same result. That is called kind of like a collaboration. And in this particular collaboration context, there is no one is actually higher and lower. Both are person are kind of like assembly, like one person and second person, both are person are kind of like equal to each other. So that is called kind of like assembly collaboration. Okay, yeah. But when you are kind of like a working in particular company or any kind of like a stuff, then you are kind of like a, no, something lower, like basically this is the chairman and this is you, so you are actually working for him, you are actually working for his company and things and that. So basically it's not considered as a kind of like a collaboration, right? Now do I like I haven't really done any kind of like a collaboration, nothing really at all. But there is a one specific thing, like basically this kind of like a concept, I didn't really knew that. Okay, let me tell you what exactly happened. Okay, so in March 2021 I went to Jaipur for production house, and I was kind of like somebody like at that time, like basically what exactly happened, I wanted to be a filmmaker. Okay, yeah. And I just kind of like looking for filmmaking experience and things and that. Now the problem is that at that time COVID was actually happening. Okay, yeah. Everything was locked down and things and that. Okay, so there is like I don't really have any chance to go to the Bombay and kind of like look for this job and things and that. It's not really possible for me. So, and also another thing, money is also really issue too. Okay, so I don't know, I was trying and things and that. Then there is a kind of like a Jaipur production house, kind of like somebody, I will not gonna mention the name, but they kind of like somebody reach out to me and say this thing that key your profile is like basically is this thing. Before that I was kind of like working for them, I kind of like make little bit of short film in a virtual context, in like in short film means what, like basically is this thing na ki we gather all those people kind of like assembly on Zoom call or things and that, and we kind of like assembly talk about the how do we supposed to execute the things and that. So one person can shoot and edit by himself, sorry, shoot like acting and shoot by himself, and other person like me, I am kind of like assembly collecting all the clips and kind of like edit all those kind of like assembly footages and kind of like make a short film. So this is kind of like a collaboration task. Because of the COVID we cannot able to interact with each other, so basically all those people are actually kind of like a different part of country. Okay, some people are kind of like assembly the UP, I'm from Maharashtra, some people are kind of like assembly from south and things and that. But we are collaborate and we kind of like assembly make a kind of like assembly short film, a virtual short film, which is really good. Okay, yeah. Now the chairman of that production house, like basically we created this kind of like a short film under that production house. So that production house chairman kind of like said this thing that your work is really good, specifically yeah, mine work is really good, so would you come to us, would you come to the Jaipur and kind of like somebody make a short film with us. I was like, yeah, sure, definitely, why not? Okay, so like I'm not just me, like there are a couple of people who are kind of like a shortlisted and things and that. Okay, so before that I don't have any experience regarding about how the practically how things actually happen, how the shooting is actually happen. I don't know nothing really about that. I just kind of like seen videos and things and that, but in reality this is the first time I'm kind of like experiencing and things and that. By the way, the people who are kind of like shortlisted, who went to that production house, as also I also went to that production house too. Okay, yeah. Now what exactly happened at that night, sorry, that like when I went there, this is the first time I experienced what is actually film life look like the people who are kind of like make the film. Oh my god, like literally just like that now I just like basically it's not a kind of like a typical job. Like basically I also worked before in a corporate sector, so I do have experience regarding about the corporate life and things and that. Like basically sometimes it kind of like we work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Okay, that is okay. But in the film business, oh my god, it's like that now your entire life is actually dedicated towards that thing, because there is no time for you. Literally there is no time for you. Like what is actually happened now when the shoot call is actually happened, usually shoot is actually happened during the night, during the day, and it was so off time, like literally just like I was like, what the fuck is this thing? Okay, yeah, like basically what is actually happened. Okay, yeah, there is no night. Like basically this thing, night means like okay, chalo 12 baj gaye, like let's like 12 a.m. let's just sleep. Okay, yeah, but that is not that is not okay, yeah. So basically this thing, after you shoot you came like 9 p.m. Okay, yeah, like shoot ho gaya, everything is actually happened, you came at 9 p.m. Now 9 p.m. came, then you kind of like assembly went to eat dinner. Okay, yeah. Now just take a time, when we went to dinner we arrive at 9 a.m. So basically it would take like a 10, like basically in an hour you might kind of reach to the hotel and kind of like had a dinner. No, You went to the dinner at 12 a.m. Like, what the fuck was that? After 3 hours, like it took 3 hours to kind of like assembly, kind of like a makeup, all those people gather and things, and then we kind of like took the cars and bikes and things and kind of like went to that kind of like assembly the hotel and kind of like eat the dinner 12 a.m. Okay, yeah, okay, chalo 12 a.m. Okay, now how much time do I really require to done my dinner? Okay, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, max to max half an hour. Like basically dinner takes almost like a 3 hour, like 3 hour, almost like a 2 hour, 2.5 an hour. Like basically we are at that hotel for at like till almost like a 2 a.m. 2 3 a.m. 2 3 a.m. Okay, yeah. And then we arrive at studio at almost like a 4 a.m. We arrive at studio at 4 a.m. Okay, literally my work is done at 9 p.m. I should supposed to be done my eat and things, and it should supposed to be done like basically till 12 a.m. I should supposed to be sleep, but no. Okay, we went to dinner, we ate, we kind of like came home at 3:30 or maybe 4 a.m. Okay, yeah. Then we came, okay, yeah, and then we try to sleep, and we sleep at 5 a.m. We slept at 5 a.m. and we wake up at 12 or maybe, yeah, 12 p.m. Literally, I was like, what the fuck is this timing, dude? Literally, just it just like there is no timing at all. There is no kind of like a some constraint or a call sheet that when should we supposed to do. Like basically when we have to shoot, we have to kind of like a shoot. Like it's not really that. Like when there is a call time for 7 a.m. to kind of like a reach for shooting, so we have to went there. Okay, yeah, that is it. But after the shoot everything is kind of like a so laggy, like everything is like so laggy. Like for the dinner you have to take 2 hours, 3 hours sleep. There is no sleep at all. Literally, just like let's just say that ki when you have kind of like a you done your dinner and you kind of like went to sleep. Okay, yeah, let's just say you went to sleep at 5 a.m. Okay, yeah, and tomorrow call shoot was almost like a 7 a.m. So basically is this thing, you will not gonna sleep, like basically 5 a.m. you will gonna arrive to the studio, you grab your gear things and that, and you kind of like went to shoot, so you will not gonna sleep for that day. Okay, yeah, then next day will gonna shooting happen. What the fuck is that? It actually happened, and basically it was like a so fucking time that I just can't even cope. Like there is nothing stagnant, nothing standard, nothing like there is nothing at all. Like basically you have to wake up at 7 a.m., do this, do that, do that. No, it's not. When the call thing actually happened, and the call sheet is like a very delicate, like sometimes you have to work at day, sometimes you have to work at night. Like basically is this thing, when the call is actually happened, like we have to shoot at 10 p.m. So 10 p.m. So we have to kind of like come to the studio, pack everything at 7 p.m. Okay, yeah, grab all those gears and things and that. We have to kind of like reach the studio, reach the set at maybe kind of like somebody 8 p.m. or maybe like 8 or 8:30 p.m. Okay, yeah. Then kind of like install all those things, lighting and things and that. It takes too much amount of time. I'm not really sure it is true, but like basically this thing, if I have to shoot maybe kind of like a 2-3 minute of scene, it kind of like for the setup it takes like hours. Okay, setup, lighting and kind of like cameras and reflectors and whatnot. Okay, yeah. So it kind of like takes so much amount of time. Okay, yeah. And then we kind of like started shooting and things and that. Now this kind of like a stuff, this kind of like a routine, I was never really experienced. This is the first time I experienced this thing. I was like, dude, like there is no thing at all. Like there is no, like basically like one of the really essential thing for human to sleep, and and there is no time for sleep. Like might be there is a time, but there is like literally just like no time. Okay, yeah. And when the meeting was actually happened, okay, let's just say tomorrow we have a shoot. Okay, let's just say tomorrow we have 7 a.m. we have to reach to the set and kind of like assembly, and shooting will gonna start at maybe kind of like assembly 10 a.m. or things like that. So 10 a.m. we have to shoot, so we have to arrive at set at maybe 7 a.m. Okay, yeah. So 7 a.m. is actually happened. Now it's like it's a 9 p.m. Okay, it's a before 9 p.m. and your director came, and director kind of like assembly doing the kind of like assembly meeting regarding about tomorrow how do we supposed to be shoot and things and that. Now just try to imagine how much meeting will gonna, how much time it takes to kind of like do this meeting. Okay, yeah. Like basically simple is this, we have to kind of like a plan according to it, that tomorrow we should supposed to be set this camera there and things and that. Probably that meeting will gonna take like half an hour or maybe hour. That's it. Okay, yeah, we have kind of like a grabbing the notes and things and that to kind of like a figure it out. That meeting will gonna take okay, it's that meeting will gonna start maybe 9 p.m. Sorry, 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. to almost like a 12 a.m. meeting actually happened. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Now, if you are kind of like thinking about meeting means like that we are in the corporate sector and kind of like have a table and things and we are kind of like sitting there for 3 hours. No, it's not. It's a studio. Okay, we all are kind of like sitting, kind of like doing chilling and things and that. And your director came and kind of like started talking regarding about tomorrow's schedule and things and that and that. Okay, no, basically what is actually happened that we are kind of like sitting, we are kind of like taking notes and things and that tomorrow how do we supposed to execute the scene and stuff like that. Okay, now now that meeting kind of like became philosophical lesson. That meeting change into the philosophical lesson. They kind of like tell us that director will gonna come and they will gonna say this thing. If you went to the Bombay, then you have to do this thing. You have this schedule and that. And he was kind of like telling his experience. I was like, what the fuck is this? Okay, and we haven't really had dinner. Okay, yeah, we haven't really. The meeting is actually started at 9:30. Okay, yeah, that meeting will conducted till almost like 11:30 or maybe 12 a.m. Okay, yeah. अभी 12 a.m. में सारा philosophical हो गया, everything will gonna happen, सब schedule हो गया, everything know what will gonna happen, and after that we have to went to eat. Okay, yeah, but by the way, someone person's kind of like say this thing that ki if we went there, then probably it will gonna take too much amount of time, so we have to order. So we actually order some sort of food. It takes 1 hour to kind of like reach and things and that and that. Now everyone kind of like eating everything on the studio. Okay, and then we went to sleep at 2:30 a.m. Okay, and we wake up at 5 a.m. So literally at that night we sleep only 3 hour, like 2 and 3 hour, and that's it. And just we sleep. Okay, like some of the guys who are kind of like not sleeping, like some of the guy went to the terrace and they are smoking the pots and things. What the fuck is that thing? Okay, yeah. Like they say is this thing, tomorrow we have to wake up at 5 a.m. Na? So why do we supposed to sleep up? Yeah, we just like a kind of like a hangout and smoke and things like that. And like, what the fuck? Have you not sleep, or is this sleep is not essential for you? It is like, yeah, for 2 hours why do we supposed to sleep? Like basically after the shoot na we were gonna sleep. But like, okay, there are so many questions arise that they just don't want to sleep. They literally don't want to sleep, and I was like, what? And they are doing chilling, they are smoking, they are chilling, and they are kind of like somebody. I don't know what they are doing, and I'm not really smoking guy, but it's just like that na ki, and now everyone are kind of like spending time over there. And I was like, am I the only one wanted to sleep or what? Like and there is also another guy who is also wanted to sleep. Okay, at least like 2 hours of sleep is also really essential, na? But it's just like that rest of the people are kind of like went to the terrace and they are kind of like smoking. I just don't know that. Okay, but there is also another context that I think the most of the people who are there, okay, all the people are 20s, okay, or maybe early 20s. Okay, yeah, some of the guys are kind of like assembly like basically 18 or something like that. Okay, so they are very young people, and my age was, when I went there, my age was 28, so I was kind of like a late 20s. I was the kind of like only person who is kind of like a very older, like a 28, like a yeah, and rest of the guys, rest of the gang are kind of like a less than 25 or things like that. My director is 27. Yeah, is kind of like only 1 year younger than me. So basically is this thing that na ki entire team is kind of like a younger and things and that. And I think that na ki that is okay, because of that na ki when you are in that particular age you are a bit impulsive and things and that. Not impulsive, but something that na ki like, yeah, you are young and things like that. You should supposed to be represent that youngness and things and that. So probably you don't really require sleep and things. Okay, yeah. But then what exactly happened now? Tomorrow we went to sleep. Tomorrow we went to shoot. Okay, yeah. While shooting, like basically in the shooting now, like what exactly happened? Now we set up the scene. We set up the lighting. We set up this, that. Now everyone kind of like us do have some sort of work to do. Okay, yeah. Now basically is this thing, what exactly I have responsibility of the audio. Okay, means like that I have to kind of like record the audio and things and that. Now I talk to my DOP, say this thing that ki sir, how do I supposed to execute this thing? Like we don't have boom mic, we don't have nothing at all. So how do you supposed to do this thing? Like basically, what does they do? They kind of like a lav mic. They attach that lav mic into the kind of like a camera actor and things like that. So I kind of like attaching this thing and that, so that it should supposed to be kind of like a record in the frame is much more better and things and that. I tried to do this thing. Okay, yeah, it didn't really work out. Why is that? Because it take a lot of amount of time. So it says this thing that key we will gonna kind of like attach the mic at somewhere to get the reference audio, so that in the dubbing it will gonna kind of like a cover up everything. It's like, yeah, sure, like basically dubbing will gonna happen. So that is okay. So basically we are kind of like recording the reference sound. So the reference sound is actually shoot on the camera, and also it kind of like I also kind of like a shoot from the kind of like a somebody that mic lav mic too. Okay, yeah. But most of the time kind of like a DOP said this thing that ki like it takes so much amount of time to kind of like install and things, and that DOP said this thing bhai tu rehne de, you have to do something else, we will gonna figure it out audio and things like that. So I just feel like that na ki just like miserable because of like it's not really that ki my DOP fault, definitely not, it's my fault that ki I don't know how do I supposed to execute this audio thing and that. So it felt like really terrible because it felt like that na ki the one thing that I'm kind of like came here to kind of like do this audio and things like that, I was not really doing it that because this is the first time I'm kind of like somebody doing this audio, like a first time I'm kind of like seeing this kind of like all those audio equipment and things and that, and it felt like that dude, it just like am I that particular person to kind of like record this thing or not? It just feel like worthless and things and that whatever. I told my director that sir, am I like basically I'm not kind of like doing anything. Director says this thing, and don't worry, yeah, you have kind of like experience regarding about editing now, so you will gonna edit. Okay, reference edit. Like okay, yeah. First of all, I don't really know what is the reference edit. Now reference edit, it's a kind of like somebody the reference kind of like a things. It's a kind of like somebody the you attaching the some sort of clip to understand that key how is kind of like somebody the editing will gonna happen and things and that. It's a kind of like somebody attaching a kind of like a storyline and things in a rough context, a rough editing probably. So I was kind of like doing this thing. Now basically is this thing the director and there is a couple of people who are also I'm started doing editing. I kind of like grab all those kind of like somebody clips and things and that I started doing editing. Now the problem is that now my director vision is a kind of like a bit more different. My script is kind of like a very much different, as well as the kind of like the people who are kind of like associated with this thing, they have kind of a different opinion regarding about edits and things and that. Now let me tell you one thing. I am not a bad editor. I can edit, and the storyline was not really that much kind of like complicated. I just have to attach and things and that. But because of I am kind of like a working under somebody, I am like a really furious. Like basically is this thing that my director said this thing that you have to edit in this way. I was editing that way. Then there is another guy said this thing, you have to edit in this way. It's just like that there is so confusion that people don't really have any kind of like somebody right thing to kind of like somebody how do you supposed to edit and things and that. And it kind of like somebody so confused to me that I cannot able to edit a kind of like somebody a 5-minute video. And it was not even video, like basically I just have to attach the clip and that's it. It's not really that I should supposed to be kind of like arrange this clip and that there is nothing really at all. But still is this thing na ki because of everyone, and I was kind of like following the vision, my director what gonna say and things and that. So I was kind of like following that, and it was like basically everyone have different opinion. Like a director have their different opinion, the writer have different opinion and things and that. And I was like so confused that how do I supposed to edit this thing and that. Okay, yeah. And I cannot able to edit. Literally, I cannot able to edit that 5-minute clips. And it was feel like that so worthless that dude, it just feel like that na ki I can't. I literally I just can't. Okay, yeah. It's not because of that ki like I think that na ki probably is this thing. I am not really good when I was actually following somebody, because is this thing na ki when I try to follow somebody, I always fumble. I always kind of like somebody that ki like I'm not kind of like a reach to my potential that how good am I. And same thing happened in the corporate sector, because when I was kind of like doing a job, I was kind of like following what does my leader says, what is my team leader says and things and that. But it's just like that na ki it always kind of like a feel off and things and that. But when I started doing my own thing, when I started this YouTube and things and that, I get freedom to work by myself. And when I try to do this thing, I kind of like somebody doing something really good. Like basically is this thing na ki I am kind of like proud of myself that I execute kind of like this piece of content, this piece of things that like the hyperlapse and things and that. It's not really like I'm not kind of like doing this credit and things, but it felt really good that ki I execute the operation by myself much more better way as compared to kind of like if I work in somebody, then I just not really perform that much well. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. So basically this is thing na ki like basically I'm doing this YouTube for almost like a 5 year. I'm kind of like creating this content. I am kind of like proud of myself to kind of like create this content and things and that and that. But another thing is that na ki I'm bit really scared at the moment to kind of like do the collaboration and things and that, because I was not really sure regarding about how do I supposed to execute this thing, because my experience is kind of like a very wild and things and that and that. It's not really good. Okay, yeah. It's not because of that key things happen. It's a kind of like an experience. You learn from the experience, and I do know that key once in a life, obviously I have to be kind of like somebody the like a like like collaborate and things and that. Okay, it's really essential being a content creator. You have to earn money, and if you want to earn money off you have to do the collaboration and things and that and that. So this is what kind of like somebody I just kind of like somebody is saying that keep not really sure regarding about how do I supposed to do this thing, because I think that I don't have that much experience at the moment. Okay, like couple of days ago there is a kind of like a particular person from the company who kind of like a called and say this thing that ki your content is really good, really great, can we collaborate? I was like sir, he was kind of like giving me offer that you have to kind of like make me 30 posts in a 30 days, and we have to give some sort of amount of money. I was like basically what exactly happened now, because of I have kind of like a very like a not so good experience regarding about the collaboration. I said this thing, sir, first of all is that कि I am not that kind of like a particular person that kind of like execute the operation that you like. Okay, because what exactly happened now? Okay, I actually think from that point of perspective, that particular person point of perspective. Okay, yeah, if I kind of like somebody said someone that ki I need a kind of like a particular 30 post from you, and I'm gonna give you a couple of amount of money from this thing and that and that. Okay, yeah. Now this is the one thing, but there is another thing is that ki that particular person has an expectation regarding about what should supposed to be your post look like and things and that and that and that and that and that like basically, and then that collaboration converted into the I am working for that particular person, and when I am working for that particular person my creativity will fail. I just can't. I just can't. Okay, yeah. So literally this thing na, I like when this actually happened I said this thing, sir, first of all I haven't really done freelancing, I haven't really done nothing at all. Okay, another thing is that ki I am not really sure how should you supposed to do this thing. Another thing is that ki instead of giving me 30 post or contract, just kind of like a try me out. Okay, yeah. Like basically I'm gonna make one post, if you like it then that is okay, if you don't like it then yeah. And also another thing is that na ki don't force me to do anything at all, because I can't, and if I try to listen to you then I might not gonna provide you that piece of content that you gonna love it or like it. Okay, yeah. If I wanted to collaborate then probably it should supposed to be by my own terms. I would kind of like said this thing, because it's like that na ki I don't really need him, he needs me. Okay, yeah. And that is the kind of like things that I want to create. Okay, yeah. Because if I have to work with somebody, then it kind of like somebody just I will not gonna perform that much better. Okay, so it is really essential me to that I will gonna control. Like basically if I wanted to collaborate somebody, then I'm gonna make sure that I will kind of like wanted to collaborate and things and that with my own terms and things and that. Like basically me and you are a partner, and we should supposed to be execute this operation or execute this particular stuff combined together as a partner, not as a kind of like a somebody co-worker and things and that. So in this thing you will get freedom to execute what is actually your opinion, and as also I will get the freedom for this thing. Okay, yeah. So for this particular purpose, for this thing I didn't really get that much collaboration. I will gonna get, it's not really that like basically if I'm gonna say I'm the YouTuber, then obviously you have to collaborate and things, that's the utmost essential thing. But I think that na ki I'm really scared for this particular stuff. I don't know, because this is thing na ki I do have my own things to do. Okay, yeah. why do I supposed to kind of like take care for him for a particular amount of money? Because I invested so much amount of time of my life for this content creation and things and that and that. Okay, yeah. So and I kind of like simply learn this skill or improve this skill by myself from everything from the scratch and things and that. Okay, yeah. And I am not kind of like selling my skill for just for kind of like for just couple of money and things and that. Nothing like at all. I just wanted to build up something by myself for me, for like it's not really that key. Like I'm not completely against in the collaboration, but I am not kind of like a particular person that kind of like became a co-worker for him. No, I don't want that. But I think that na collaboration is really essential. It's not really that ki I shouldn't supposed to do it. I have to do it. It's a like, I think that na ki the teamwork is the thing that I haven't really learned probably, at least from my point of perspective. So this is the thing that I have to be learned, like a teamwork, and I think I have to be learn that thing, a skill, whatever. But time will gonna tell us. All right. So this is it. This is it. I should supposed to be end here. And happy Republic Day, and thank you.